What is going on, guys? It is Wednesday, 7:30-ish. Getting closer to 7:30, though. We really are. Off by about 4 minutes this time. Last week was 8. So look at that. We're coming down. We're coming down.
We'll never be there. We need to say we're gonna go live at 7:25-ish. Then we'll hit the 7:30 mark.
We're on Mexican time, dude. Come on. You know that.
Yeah.
When are we ever on time?
For work.
7:45-ish or 6:45-ish.
All right, I'll give it to you.
But guys, it is Wednesday. It is 7:30. It is the Geek Saga, guys. I'm so happy to actually be on. Last week we took a little bit of a break because it was one of those travel days for both of us. So we weren't home, but we were, we were both traveling home. So
yeah, we weren't home. We weren't at the office. We couldn't do this.
It's one of those in between, and it's going to happen again. It's happened several times, so it's just the way it is for us, because we're never 5 minutes. We have never lived 5 minutes away from home or our work. So, unfortunately. But guys, we have a special guest on tonight. I'm really excited about this guest. It was somebody that I met over at Chatsworth Blockfest, if you guys remember that. And I did do an interview with him and one of his other fellow, I'm going to say, Mandalorians. It was a really great thing. But before we get to him, we don't want to get him too excited and be like, oh my God, I'm coming on. Not yet. Nope. Relax. Almost there. We want to give shout outs to, obviously, of course, some of the affiliates that we have. Let's start off with Ulanzi, the lights that power or light up. Light up, yeah, that's more, yeah. The lights that light up this show where I'm at, not where he's at, but where I'm at. The lights that you see back here, these are all the lights that Ulanzi provided us. Great company. They've got some not only great lights, guys, but they also have great gear for your cameras, from tripods to camera cages. I have one of their cages around my camera that I use, and it's a great thing. But if you click onto our link tree, you'll see the affiliate code right there, or the affiliate link. Buy something for them, helps us. It'll then bring us some money. We need it. Trust me, look at my backdrop's falling apart. Our internet sucks because we can't afford things. But anyways, guys, go on to Ulanzi, buy something from there, and what?
I said your internet sucks.
Yeah, well, yeah, my internet sucks. We need a studio. That's what we need. But moving on to the Roosevelts. There are some great shirts. Guys, I'd say I'm wearing one right now, but I'm not. But look at these guys. They look amazing in these shirts. They've got some great IP that goes along with these shirts, from Marvel to Disney to on. A lot of great little designs on there. The shirts are stretchy. They're comfortable. They're button up, so they always, you can be all looking like casual, business cash with your Wreck-It Ralph shirt or your Monsters Inc. shirt, but still, they're nice shirts. Last time we were on, I talked about how great of a sweatshirt that they had that goes all the way down to your ankles, which makes no sense why you want a hoodie that long, but it's a workout hoodie. So, but we won't get into that.
So it doesn't make sense to you.
It doesn't make sense. Again, we go back to, why is there a pocket? There's a pocket at your ankles. Why is there? I'm not going to put my arms down there.
We're supposed to be supporting these people, not breaking them down. Move on.
Okay. It's just the one thing that I'm going to say that they messed up on. Come on, guys. Anyways, they actually got some new stuff out. They do have t-shirts. They have X-Men 97 shirts, which actually look pretty sick. I saw those. I definitely got to get myself one of those. But moving on to Wild Bill old-fashioned craft sodas. These things are amazing. Our guest, I'm sure, has seen them at a lot of the cons that he's gone to. We've seen them at a lot of the cons that we've gone to. It's some amazing sodas. It's the Chuck Wagon looking like trailer that has a little pull handle on them, and then you get these really cool cups like this one. David has one too. They were gracious enough to give us a couple of these, which veteran owned, veteran operated. That's why we love them even more, because, well, we are veterans. So we want to support them because they support a lot of us out there. So they got a lot of great flavors. Check them out at wildbillssoda.com for all the different flavors. And the special right now is if you buy a cup, you actually get a case for free. So it's a little incentive. And if you take your cup to a con, it's $7 for an all-day refill on that cup. They'll put a little tag on it, and really good stuff, guys. One last one, we've got Renegade Game Studios, which is another affiliate of ours. Go on to, again, our link tree for our affiliate or link. Go there, buy one of their games, which they've got some awesome games. They've got RPGs, and they've got deck building games. G.I. Joe, Transformers, My Little Pony, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. They've got it all. Check them out. They've got really cool figures. And if you look right there real closely at your screen, they come with the G.I. Joe one comes with figures, which are actually pretty decent. So, yeah, check them out, guys. And that is it for them. But we also want to throw a shout out to our friends over at Project Wish. David, tell me about Project.
So Darren and Veronica are two people that donate a lot of their time to bringing children to cons that could not get there otherwise. They have terminal illnesses, they've got a sickness, they're stuck in a hospital room, or they're stuck at home. So they make arrangements in order to bring them to the con or bring the con life to them. Everything they do is for these kids, and they donate so much money out of their own pockets. So if you guys see them at an event, or you guys see our link in our bio, hit them up, donate if you can. If you can't, just spread the word, get their name out there, and then more people will donate to them. But what they do is great, and they've actually assisted us with getting a lot of time out there in the community when we weren't otherwise able to get like spots at a con or a table or a place to speak. So big shout out to them.
Definitely. You guys can check them out at Ontario Revolution, which is going on this coming weekend, which unfortunately me and David will not be there due to our military obligations. Ugh. Yeah. But they will be there, and they've got a booth there. And they will also now, from what I'm hearing, will be at OmegaCon out in Fresno. So guys, mark your calendar for the 25th of this month, which is not this weekend, but the weekend after. We will be there. We will have a booth, which we're really excited about. This is an actual booth that's for us. Like, nobody else got this for us. We talked to the people, and we got it, and we're really excited. But Project Wish Upon Star is also going to be there. They were talking about trying to get us either like our booths right next to each other, or at least close to each other, so we can still be talking to them and give them shout outs and stuff like that. So make sure you guys get out to OmegaCon the 25th, 24th through the 26th, and Revolution this weekend, 18th and 19th, and help them out. Big shout out to one more shout out. We're starting to get a lot of shout outs. I think we're going to have to spread these out between the different episodes because, man. But Golden Apple, these guys, love these guys. Along with, if I had another bag that had We Can Be Heroes, those guys are awesome too. But these guys were awesome with the May the 4th with us. We helped them put that on, and dude, I got these were not even comics from there. Well, this is what I bought there, but that was it. These other ones I got from We Can Be Heroes.
Worst plug ever.
Worst plug. But hey, go to Golden Apple, which is over on Melrose, guys. That place has been around since 1979. I mean, the awesome thing is that when I was born, I was bookended with two amazing things. One was Star Wars came out, and on the next year after I was born was the day or the year that Golden Apple opened up. They've been around since 1979. Have always been in Hollywood. They've just moved locations. They're now on Melrose. Ryan and his wife there are amazing people, great people to work with. Shout out to also We Can Be Heroes in Chatsworth, which is where I met our awesome guest at. And you know what? Since we're saying that, we might as well segue into bringing him in. So we're gonna do it in the style that we always love to do it because I was able to at least get this done today, which is Mr. Robinson. Who is our guest?
Who could that be? Let's see. This is how you answer a door in
Geek Saga.
Who is it? Come on!
What is going on? Danny Romero, a true Mandalorian. And you know what? I play this thing for our guests, and I always love watching their reaction to it more than watching the actual clip. So,
Well, absolutely. Yeah, that was wonderful. It's funny because the photo you guys used, even I was like, where did they get that photo from? But then I remembered it's on my Instagram, so it makes sense. What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing?
you know what? It's funny because I always get that reaction too. It's like, where did you get that picture from? Your Instagram. That's where I got it from. I steal pictures. I mean, unless you want a really good picture of you, you got to send it to me. Otherwise, I'm just going to find something and, I'll try to get reasonably close to it looking good. But sometimes I do find the funniest ones, like our guest James had like this funky picture, and I put that thing up, and he's like, "Oh my god!" He's all, "That picture is hilarious." He's all, "Where did you get it from?" I was like, "Dude, that's your Instagram." He's all like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. It's funny because a lot of the photos that I see of me with, the character it's usually the same 2 or 3 photos. And so the one you put up just kind of caught me off guard. It's like, I don't remember taking that photo, but now it makes total sense. If you scroll through and where you got it from. So yeah, that was from that was San Diego Comic-Con, actually, I think. Yeah, that had to have been San Diego Comic-Con. So
And
yeah,
to answer that, yes, it was. I read the caption. So
it's yeah. I mean, I've been posting, my journey, all the different things and kind of stuff starting to blend together just a little bit, So I'm very glad to be here, though. It's a lot of fun.
oh, dude, I'm glad that you're here because when I met you and I also met Rory at the same time, you guys were awesome. Like the interview that we had on that day when it was freaking hurricane season, freaking Hurricane Chatsworth came through. Holy crap, dude.
I, it's funny because when I left, I said, it's gonna like drizzle a little bit, we'll see what happens. And then little by little, just the rain started coming down and said, I don't know how it's gonna turn out anymore. But it was awesome to see, like, still the community that was out there for the entire, for the entirety of the block party. It was quite a turnout, but where we were kind of set up was a little interesting because it became either a wind tunnel, or I think at the time we finally blocked it, just the wind was so strong that it kind of started pushing the tent just a little bit, and we're like, it's wet, but it was still a lot of fun to be out there. And then we got to meet and hang out a little bit, and we chatted for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. And Roy's a fun dude. Roy's such a fun dude to be around. So he's the one I travel with the most, or actually all the time, for all the cons that we get to do. So Rory's such an awesome dude that we get to do things like this with.
Yeah, it was, well, I mean, also just hearing your story, the best part of your story was when you talked about your mom and her sending your uncles out to go track down your Mighty Morphin Power Ranger figures that you had to have, and it had to be each color, and that was an awesome story. So
Yeah, it comes up in my family quite a bit. My mom definitely, God bless her, took care of me in any possible way she could, because I was her only child. My mom called me her miracle child because she had a hard time, conceiving. And when it finally happened, it turned out to be the best thing ever for him and me. But yeah, Power Rangers, she made sure when they came out, that they released one or two figures at every other store. So my mom sent her and her 4 brothers, hey, go find all these figures, let them know who has what color, and then bring them back, so you can get 1 or 2. And she would do that. She was also a collector, She would buy. I mean, granted, she was a higher end collector. She collected Barbies,
Oh,
and she would also collect the Mexican porcelain dolls. The ones that are kind of like made from real hair and whatnot, that are
dude,
just creepy.
those are creepy as hell. Like,
Yes. Oh my gosh. But she always, I think she said this like to get me to clean them, but she always said, "Hey, if you take care of them, they won't bother you." So I kind of got into the habit of like cleaning the glass and cleaning like the area that she had them in. So whether or not it was true, I totally believe it. As long as I took care of them, they wouldn't bother me. But sometimes in the middle of the night, you get up and you walk past them, you hear just their little head turning or something, and a few of my friends, after we graduated high school, my house was, I guess, the house to come over to, and they would come over. My two friends, they would come over, and we would play Nintendo for just hours. We would play Nintendo. We'd go get McDonald's. We'd get their like family value meal. It's like 4 burgers, 4 fries, 4 shakes, soda, whatever. Come back and just play Mario Kart or Mario Party, and we'd play it till like 2 in the morning, just after we're done graduating. And yeah, every now and then they would be like, "Dude, like we can't play in this living room because these dolls are just like looking at us, like just so creepy." But now they're packed up, they're put away a little bit. My collecting Power Ranger stuff is packed up as for the moment, in a box somewhere where it should be for some time, but hopefully not too long.
well, I hope that when you get the chance to open up the box, you don't open the wrong box and those dolls pop out because you didn't take care of them. I'm just saying.
Storage might not be the way, but hey, they're not being damaged. They should be okay. But hopefully, yeah. It's funny because where they're put away now, they were easily accessible at some point, but like over the last like 1 or 2 years, stuff has kind of gotten in front of them, so it's kind of a hassle to pull them out for anything really. So when I went to go meet the cast of the Warriors, actually, in might have been like February. I actually have the poster right here. I went to go meet the rest of them. There's like 4 or 5 people that I hadn't met yet, and they were in Burbank. So I went through. I have maybe 5 or 6 boxes that are there. Took each one of them out. Couldn't find the poster, and I remember talking to my dad, him being like, "Hey, like you have 2 more boxes over here. Can you come get them?" And I called him. Hey, it was probably like 11:30. Hey, can you go to your garage and just like open one of my boxes and see if I have a poster in there? For what? Just can you go, please? This is important. Okay, sure enough, opened the box. Sitting right on top was that poster. Hey, I'll be there in like 30 minutes. I'm coming to get it because tomorrow I got to go meet somebody. All right, whatever. You want to take the box with you? Nope. Hang back up. But yeah, I got some stuff, and yeah, they're gosh. And I'm an inbox collector. I'm an
Oh,
inbox collector on a lot of my stuff, and a lot of the Power Ranger stuff is big, especially the Megazord stuff. So one box has maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 things in it, just because the boxes are tall, you can't really compress them. So yeah, you can imagine, the tote box that I have for the rest of the stuff. It's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. When I was a kid, I had I think it was my 10th birthday. I got like $100 one time, and the first thing I did was I beelined it to Walmart and I bought the original Megazord, all 6 of the Power Ranger figures. Yeah, I think that was everything. It was $100, but I got the entire Megazord and all 6 of the Rangers, and they were the like 10-inch figs with the rotational joints and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, and I think they're still at my house, like my dad's house, somewhere in a bag, sitting next to
Yeah.
my Castle Grayskull on Snake Mountain.
Huh.
But,
It's
yeah,
like, we just buy a bunch of our stuff and leave it at our parents' house until we, collectively need it at some point.
well, I just bought a house, so eventually I'll be
Ah,
picking up all my
awesome.
stuff. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. See, so
yeah.
I don't have the room for it right now, but hopefully, hopefully soon I have room for it.
Well, I mean, you could see like, so some of my stuff is out of the box and then some of it isn't. And it was it wasn't until recently that I finally broke down and I opened up my 35th anniversary Back to the Future figures and pulled them out of the box. But being
Wow.
a collector, I still, if you can see down there in the corner, yeah, I still kept the boxes though. I don't know why, but I kept all their boxes. I'm like, I don't need them, but for some reason I got it. I can't. Internet is there. We go.
I do the same thing. If I do open
So-
something and it has a box, I could put it back in. I'll keep the box for whatever reason. I'll just keep it. It's one of those in case I get rid of it or when I move. But you're never gonna get rid of it. You're never gonna move. So, or who knows? But it's one of those just in case I have to put it back in the box kind of things. So I get that. I do that too, or I did that too.
But the thing is that think about the hassle it takes just to get one of these figures out of the box, and then we're going to try to put it back into that package to pack it away and move. It's like it's not going to happen. We're going to end up getting frustrated, just throw away the box and be like, you know what, it'll be fine in this box, and just that's how we're going to move with it. So
Probably, yeah. I mean, you would think it wouldn't be too hard considering
but
it's
man,
like
we're
vacuum
we're
formed.
already going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all right.
Sorry,
It's what we're here
our internet is like we're losing people different times, and I'm like trying to keep up here. But
I think it's just
I
you.
really
I'm following along just fine.
Yeah.
oh,
David and I are
good.
cool.
Well, in that case, I'm just gonna keep doing this. David, you just handle everything else because sooner or later I'll catch up to the conversation, and I'll be right
Be
on
like
cue.
Chico and the man, just a little dog
Oh,
in the
you-
back.
Just a bobblehead. Nah. But
Yeah.
you would think it'd be easier to repack stuff because it's all vacuum formed to like the character or like whatever you're taking out. But even sometimes like that still doesn't work putting it back in. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm the worst, dude. If I open the box, it tears. I cannot keep a box safe to save my life. So if I open it, that box is getting thrown away.
And
I'm like a little
explodes
kid. I'm like,
everywhere.
oh god, I'm gonna open this new toy. Oh well, I didn't need that. Throw it out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I
40-year-old
think
man
either
child.
yeah, it's all right. We all are. It's how we get by. You cut, the tape a little bit and just open it carefully and you just straight everything explodes. No, I get it. I get it. But
Nope.
no, I don't even know. The last time I actually opened a figure to like display, because like I said, I'm an inbox collector. I like displaying the boxes. Um, I'm pretty sure I probably did the same thing. I probably yeah, I did. I opened the box and I realized I didn't have any room anymore, so I just started destroying boxes and tossing them so I can make room. It forced me to make room. So it forced me not to have a clutter in the corner. So if I destroy the box, I can put something else there. So wouldn't advise that because then I, wanted the box, but it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, these in my background here, these are all the toys I grew up with. Where are they at? Right here. Yeah,
Mhm.
like all the X-Men figs, all the Ninja Turtle figs, anything that's in a box I bought as an adult, so that's why they're not opened. But if I bought it when I was a kid, that thing it didn't have a box, man. They might as well just got it at the flea market because I don't need the box.
Didn't have the accessories at that point either because you're just throwing it everywhere too.
No, I have tins of just Ninja
Oh.
Turtle accessories and lunch boxes and yeah, anything I could shove them into when I was a kid. That's where they're at. So there, I have a big box. Actually, oh, you can't see it in the picture, but there's a huge box. It's probably about 4x4, about 2 feet tall, and inside that is all my Ninja Turtles with little like I don't know, freaking chingaderas just shoved into boxes and bottles and lunch pails. So
Oh yeah, and then
yeah.
it's got the rest of accessories from like all the other different, stuff that you're like, I didn't even know I was into this or whatever this is. How did that get in there?
Yep,
Yeah.
they're all in there, man.
Man.
Friggin'
Yeah.
old soup cans up here. Look at this.
Yeah,
No
actually,
soup in
yeah.
them.
my
I
favorite.
hope not.
My favorite of his collection is that model, the Planet of the Apes model that's back there.
The Dr. Says.
Oh,
Yeah,
hey.
Yeah. Right here.
which I'm a huge Planet of the Apes fan. And
It's because you look like
Did
that.
you guys
with that movie just coming out, the new one coming out.
did you guys see the marketing they did for that in Venice Beach?
No, I didn't.
They had they just had like a couple of apes just riding horses. I think it was Venice Beach. A couple of apes just riding horses around the beach, kind of I guess promote the movie, but it's like, man, that's super cool. Like how do I get into that one? Just yeah, had to have been, at least 2 weeks ago, probably before we left.
Damn. That would have been dope.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine just like hanging out
Yeah.
on the beach
Well,
and
actually,
just see like some
I
ape?
did see like I caught. I think it was on Instagram.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it has to be because that's probably where I saw it.
It's
I don't know
internet.
why. Yeah. Where'd you see it? The news? Probably not. But yeah, 99% of where you get your information from, Instagram. Or, depending on what information it
Yeah,
is,
but
to be fair.
they actually rode. They actually rode. I think it was up to the premiere.
Oh, did they?
That's what I'd seen. Yeah.
Oh,
So they
that's even
rode
cooler.
into Hollywood. So it was actually pretty cool.
That is pretty sick. Yeah, that market I think that market was pretty cool.
Did you watch all the old Planet 8 movies?
At some point, I did. At some point, in my recent years, no. But at some point, I know I've watched them. Are you talking about like within the last 15 years, Planet of the Apes, or are you talking about like the tin behind him, Planet of the Apes?
No.
I'm talking about the original
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, yeah. So the original Planet of the Apes, yeah, I'm sure at some point I've seen them. Can I remember them? Kind of. There's one image in my head. It has to be from Planet of the Apes, where it was just a giant cave, and I remember seeing all the apes in it, and just the way it looked. That's what I remember. I can't tell you anything other than that. Can't tell you. But yeah, I'm sure I've seen it at some point.
Well, I've now figured out a way to watch all the Planet 8 movies, and they all make sense, even with the new ones tied in. That's how much time I have at work. I literally watched all the Planet of the Apes movies over the 4 days that I was at work, back to back to back. Like I was going through it, and then I was like, this makes sense if we watch the James Franco Planet of the Apes, go through those three, and then you just jump over to the Charlton Heston one, because that's supposed to be 2,000 years after. Yeah, I really, it blew my mind. I was sitting there thinking about it, and then I explained it to my mom, and she's like, "What are you talking about?"
I completely get that. It's what happens with us. We watch this collection of movies, and then we start putting our little theories together. And if you're not in the know or like into it, it makes no sense to you. You're yapping. So completely get it. And I do want to hear that entire theory at some point, either now or a little bit later. But that sounds like fun.
Well, you know what? We'll do our things that make you go segment a little bit later. So, but Danny, you were a Mandalorian. You were also a background person in the Book of Boba Fett. I actually saw that shot where it was a shot of him looking down, and you were one of the villagers looking up.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it was a quick shot.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Oh yeah. Story of my life. You were in the background at some point, right? And I saw you. It was a quick shot. Like, yeah, I was there. Yeah. Might not. You see the blur that went by? That was me. Yeah.
that's kind of my claim to fame in Spider-Man, in the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Okay.
The Macy Gray scene that was going on. I actually got to go and be one of the background people there. And when Toby, he was looking up with his camera like this, and the people walking in the background, you see my back. That's about it. Like, but I was already off because they cut back and I was already going like this. So
they got your best side. That's good.
So they got that's going for.
Yes, they got my best side. But yeah, that's my claim to fame.
Yeah, man. That's super cool though. Like being a Spider-Man film, that's even cooler. Even just any Marvel production or Sony. But yeah, I did do Book of Boba Fett, and I don't really talk about that one a whole lot because it is just little snapshots here and there. I did maybe I think I did 3 different characters in Book of Boba Fett, and they're all villagers, granted. So there's like little snapshots of like world fillers. Funny enough, when I was in Germany, somebody brought me that scene, and I freaked out because I never signed that one. I never put it out there. I just don't talk about it too much. And he brought it like, yeah, I love the shot and it looks great. And so can you sign it? It's like, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to sign this one. And here you go. And yeah, I just don't. But it was a scene where Boba Fett's riding into town after, I believe, the Tusken Raider incident. and he's riding on the bantha, and I get to have the privilege of spiking some helmets on top of just a giant spike. And it's a really cool shot that like I've seen in different like dioramas. People actually build that little shot. And so I put the little joke in there, hey, like, you should make it like a little character and just like put him right there in a bantha. And, like, stop talking to me, weirdo. But yeah, so I got to do that. But it was funny because when it happened, I was just hanging out on set and they kind of pulled me to the side and said, hey, like, would you mind uh doing some other scene like where we put some helmets on a spike and we go from there. And that was all the information they gave me. I said, sure, like just let me know. And I think the original thing that they were gonna do, or at least from what I remember in the PA telling me, was it was supposed to be a scene where the helmets were gonna break on top where like the spike is, and they had three helmets to, so it was three chances to push it all the way down, and you would see that go all the way through, and that's how it would kind of finish. But the ending, what we ended up shooting was it was already like halfway on, and then we kind of just like set it. I don't know what why they changed it from what it was, but that was from what I remember it being the initial thing was I was going to break it on top and then put all the way down, probably just to save time. But anyway, I get up there and they had me stand in a little apple box, and they're like, all right, cool. So just go ahead and place it down and stare Tamora down and walk away. Yes, 100%. I'll do that. Great. And funny enough, I was looking at Boba Fett, and I was like, that don't look like Boba Fett. It don't look like Tamora Morrison. And it took me a second to realize there were two people. It was a stunt double, and there was Tamora Morrison standing next to him. I was like, that looks really close. But I still started to freak out because I was super excited. And right before we start rolling, I looked around and I was like, man, it's just me out here. It really is just me and Boba Fett just hanging out. But yeah, so with that scene, they had a little nail underneath the helmet, right? And that's how you kind of bring the helmet down, you set it, it'll position itself to where it's facing the camera and Boba Fett and just go ahead and move. Well, every time we cut, they would have production come in and change where that nail was sitting. So when I would come back in, it would be in a different spot. So when I would set it down, the helmet would move differently. So instead of like facing front, the nail's on the side now, so it would like turn and face the other way. And so there was like 2 or 3 times they'd be like, "Hey man, what's going on? Why is the helmet moving?" And I said, "Well, guys, you changed the nail like twice. Like, give me 30 seconds to just figure out how to set this down, and we can go." Well, the time that they gave me was like right before we rolled. So there's also probably two cuts where they're like, Danny, like we see you moving it around and jiggling it. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how this helmet's gonna sit because the nails changed like since the last shot. So just give me a second, and eventually, I got it down and I got my 30 seconds of, putting that helmet on and walking away. But yeah, Book of Boba was a lot of fun. Yeah, even that scene was a lot of fun. And I always thought that was gonna be like it for me for Star Wars. And there was a couple other scenes that I got to do as a different, like I said, filler, background villager. There's another one. My very first day was they gave me boots that were super thick, like all the way around. Like, so they were super thick. And I had really like MC Hammer pants almost, so like parachute pants. And they put us out in the sand. And it's like, okay, so do you guys remember the scene where the Gamorrean guards are kind of waiting for the pirates to come towards them, and there's a train that like cuts across the screen? It's a very quick scene.
Think so.
Something like, yeah. So the pirates are supposed to be coming in, and the villagers, there's like 20 of us, like are supposed to scatter. Well, I had really thick platforms on, and I've never worn boots like that ever. And we're in sand. So they're like, all right, guys, you got to run like your life depends on it. And my hat at the time just wouldn't stay on. So I have really big shoes. I have a hat that's super loose, and they gave me a briefcase. So they're having us run, but you just see me like this, holding the briefcase and kind of like flailing my legs because I'm running in the sand and I can't get any good grip without falling. So I'm pretty sure somewhere there's a scene of me just looking absolutely ridiculous running. But those are the few that I got to do in Boba Fett. Yeah.
Yeah, that is dope.
So
So
how
big
then
shout
this
out to your homie though, because you have like so many people on the IG chat that are just chiming in, and they're all joining just because you're here right now.
Oh yeah, of course. Hey guys, sorry I put that up on Instagram. So if anyone's joining in, hi
Yeah,
everybody.
Rory was like, "Hey, how do I add people?" And he just got people joining in steadily now on the IG chat.
Rory's the man, you know. Rory's awesome. It's I'm very fortunate to have a friend like Rory. Um, he he and I met on set. We just met on Star Wars, and we kind of just clicked and started talking about Star Wars and just walks of life. And I'm very fortunate to have a friend like him. And it was funny because I was reading the chat, or not the chat, the comments that we got from when we went to Germany, and one of the comments said it's evident to see like the chemistry between the two on screen and completely off. So I'm glad we had good chemistry on screen, because like him and I were together on screen a lot, and we made sure of that, because we were, like I said, we got really close on set. And then afterwards, him and I, like I said, we travel together quite a bit to all these conventions, because we have those pictures of us. So it's really nice to see that they can see our relationship and our bond just when they meet us, because him and I sit next to each other a lot. So it's really nice that the fans and everybody else gets to see that, like, genuine relationship. So shout out to you, Rory, man. Hopefully you're doing good. Hopefully you're back. Come get your stuff. Can get the stuff outside.
yeah, and Rory, we want you to come on the show too, so we can also talk to you about everything that's going on with you. But so when I met you guys were going to go to a premiere of wasn't it a fan film that you guys did, or was that just Rory?
That was Rory.
And he didn't include you.
That was the day after, right? That was the day after.
Yeah, it was going to be the
I
day
believe.
after.
Yeah, that was Rory. He had a premiere of a production company that he works with, that they were showing. I believe it was a bunch of the projects they had worked on for the year. So it was just like a big showcase. I don't want to give the wrong information, but that's what they were working on. I unfortunately couldn't go. I had something. I had left out of town that weekend. But from what I heard, it went super well, and things are slowly moving forward for that, for Rory in that production. So, yeah, I don't know too much about it. My bro can make me cry. I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy.
So from the Book of Boba Fett, you ended up on Mandalorian, and you did how many seasons of Mando?
So Fate has a weird thing, and I'm not a big person in Fate. It's weird. I also don't think things happen for a reason, but I do believe in coincidences. I'm a strange person. When Mando started filming initially, I had gotten a check for that one, or I got asked at the time to do that show, but I was doing the show The Rookie at the time, and of course, all these shows are under different names, so I had no idea what it was. So I remember getting a message about it, and like, "Hey, do you want to do the show, like, for whatever?" And I looked at the names, like, that sounds goofy. I don't want to do that show. So I'm gonna pass. I'm good where I'm at. I'm a regular here on The Rookie, and I love The Rookie. Rookie was one of my favorite shows to work on. I was working The Rookie, 4 days a week. So like, I'm gonna stick around. One of my training partners for jiu-jitsu, he's also in the business, and he's the one who got me into it, actually. And he does this thing, comes out, Mando season 1 comes out, and he's like, "Yeah, I was this character," and he was one of the bounty hunters that come after Din, with like all the pirates that come in and like, they all get destroyed. He was one of those guys. And he got to do it, and he's like, "Yeah, I know, it was a good time, and this was the name." I said, "What do you mean that was the name?" He's like, "Yeah, this was the name of the show." They both will be, "Yes, yeah, we'll get to that in just a minute. I got you, Scott, don't worry." But I talked to him. He's like, "This is the name of the show," and I didn't know. So you got to be kidding me. That was Mandalorian. It's like, yeah. All right. Well, I screwed up that time. You know, rewind the cycle. Season 3 starts filming. And this was like not too long after I did Boba. And I get a message. Hey, can you do the show for a mercenary? All right. Maybe. At the time, I was working SEAL team. Same thing, same scenario. I'm working SEAL team maybe 4 or 5 days a week consistently. I'd been working SEAL team for like the past 2 years. I'm good where I'm at. I love SEAL team. SEAL team's another one of those shows where I loved working on. It was so much fun, so professional and everything else. But I remember somehow on SEAL team I'd gotten my hands on what the show was called, and I remember sitting in bed being like, I don't know if I should do this. And I was talking to my girlfriend. Like, hey, like I just got to check for another mercenary. What do you think? Should I do? She's like, just, go for it. And after she said go for it, I reread it and kind of looked at it and kind of, I don't know, like this sounds, like it could be a production again. And something just clicked. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think this is it. So I said yes. And luckily my time had started ending at SEAL team by the time, Mando came up. But yeah, um, ended up going to a fitting, ended up giving me some armor, and I'm looking around like, oh, cool. Like I'm in Star Wars again. This is gonna be great. I'm fighting some Mandalorian, I guess. Cool. And no, little by little, they're giving me armor pieces. No, like you are. Like, what do you mean I am? Like, yeah, cool. We're fighting Mandalorians. Awesome. Like, and they like kind of gave me the rest of the outfit. And I looked in the mirror and said, oh, you mean I'm gonna be one? Yeah, great. It's like, oh my god, okay, awesome. What's next? Like, nothing. You're done. Like, okay, cool. I'll just wait. And yeah, so I freaked out. And funny enough, I called my girlfriend after I left, and I was like, hey babe, guess what? What? I'm a Mandalorian. Okay. What do you mean? Okay, like get excited. I'm a Mandalorian. What's that? Oh god. Okay. Let me call you back. Call my best friend of 25 years. Hey buddy, guess what? No. Yes. Do you want me to say anything? No. Great. I'll see you in a couple months. Click. But he got super excited about, it's like I'm in Star Wars now, but it's gonna be, I don't want to tell you too much. And I didn't tell him anything rather. I'm in Star Wars, and he got super excited, and I called my girlfriend back. See, I just got the excitement that I needed from Joe. So I'm in Star Wars now. Great. I clicked it. But yeah, man, I got super fortunate to fate to come back around, or things that turn back around and be back on Star Wars. And it was a genuine good time, and I couldn't ask for anything any better than that. I wouldn't give it for anything. It was a wonderful time. The crew, the people I've met, the people even now that I've met, I'm super grateful for every bit of it. It's been a wonderful journey.
Well, that's awesome to hear that you went from like one successful show to another successful show to that, because The Rookie, like I loved that show. One, because Nathan Fillion, he's my hero. I mean, geez,
He's his man crush.
he is. All right, so what?
We use the term hero interchangeably,
He is
but
Nathan
it's man
Drake.
crush.
Okay, that man is Nathan Drake. I love the Uncharted games. He is
He's
forever.
Cade 6, bro. He's Cade 6.
No, he's Buck. He's Buck for me.
See, we all have our version of Nathan Fillion, but
Yeah.
I mean, to hear that, you were on that show, and I don't know why it didn't click that. That's where I've seen that face too, was on The Rookie, because I watched, yeah. And then you move on to SEAL Team, which David Borealis, I actually started watching that show too. And he's another, yeah, so what? Man crush number 2. All right.
You did.
He's a beautiful man. He's a beautiful man.
Beautiful man. Yeah. I've been very fortunate in the journey that I've had. A lot of the shows that I do are, those type of characters, mercenaries, policemen, military, anything in a uniform and that requires me to shave. 99% of the time, that's what I'm going to be. Every now and then, they're like, keep the beard, we'll move it on from there. But it's a lot of times it's somebody in a uniform in that kind of stature. So
Us too.
it's like Mercenary, like I said, it clicked. It's like, right, Mercenary, what's next?
Yeah, 4 days out of the week we play that character too.
Unfortunately, we do.
Yeah. And hey, guys, thank you for your service and everything else, man. I truly appreciate what you guys have done.
Thanks for
You've done
portraying us on TV. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Portraying him,
it-
not me.
It affords me the chance to be able to watch all the Planet of the Apes movies on the taxpayer dollars. There you go.
I was just about to say that. I was like, should I go with that joke? I don't know, but glad you went with it. So
Yeah, I steered clear of
Don't
One
worry.
Piece forever, and I've been catching up on it while working at this job. So
how far are you?
I am probably about midway through Whole Cake right now.
Okay. Yeah. I have some friends who really like One Piece. In Germany, I had a kid who really liked One Piece. So when him and I were talking the entire time, he would come back, One Piece, One Piece. And so when I signed it, I was like, One Piece is never gonna end. And he loved it. But One Piece, I got into it for a little while, and then stuff just started happening where I stopped watching it. But I do have to go back. There is one show that I really, really want to rewatch, and I don't know if you guys remember. It's called Zatch Bell. It was an anime about like it was about a doll who you had a book, and just like anything, you give it spells, and they fight each other. It's like a Pokemon for human dolls. But that's a show I really want to rewatch, but I can't find it anywhere. So anybody
send you
knows
a link.
where to find that? Oh yeah.
I'll send you a link.
We
Yeah.
we don't want to say that we condone that kind of thing, but soldiers have to get kind of creative in trying to watch things and keep ourselves entertained. So yeah, he'll send you a link.
It'll be in the private
Perfect.
chat.
So, but I mean, this is it's awesome to hear your journey, and then now you are going from con to con along with Rory, and you guys are out there and you're able to show. I love the helmet, by the way, the helmet that you have, which let's see that thing. That thing is
So this one was made by Roman Chero Props out in Germany. So this was the one that I was very fortunate to get. He sent it he's done a wonderful job. He sent it all the way from Germany. He just said, hey, I want to send you a helmet. Don't worry about it. Just take it with you and do what you got to do. And he made Rory's as well. He did a wonderful job, so shout out to Roman. I have another one right back up here. Let me see if I can grab it.
we're not looking. We're not looking at your
Dude, he's got movie magic.
all
It's
my
fine.
nonsense back there, right? And then this one's made by John Rodriguez, Alpha Ignition out here in the Valley.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
I know the name. Yeah. I just found out about him because I went over to Scum and Villainy yesterday, and he is going to be teaching a class on how to do the swish or whatever they're calling the swishing technique to make. Yeah, but they call it like something where they're swishing it around, and I was all like, dude, that's cool. I definitely want to go. And then they said, well, it's going to be about 120 per person for that class. I said, it's really cool to watch on TV.
Do you guys need podcast coverage for that? We can come.
Yeah. We got you. We'll be there. But
yeah, man. These helmets are wonderful. They're a lot of fun to work with, and it's always fun that the biggest compliment that I get is when people go, "Is that the one from the helmet? Or is that the one from the show?" And I'm like, "No, but the guys did such a wonderful job that it could pass." And I'm super thankful that I've met them. They do wonderful work, so Alpha Ignition and Chero Props on Instagram. I think I have them on my Instagram and tagged, quite a bit. So I try to show as much love as I can to them because, without them, I wouldn't be able to travel with these things. And I love them too. I try to take as much care of them as I can, and they're durable. And so Rory and I, just segue, Rory wants to get his complete armor made to visit children's hospitals. And I looked at him and said, I can't let you do that alone, man. So hopefully we're working on that to get our costumes our armor made so we can, start doing that, visiting those hospitals and, trying to give back as much as we can. And I would love to have these buckets out there with me and just kind of visiting these places. So it's not just me, but it's different people who have made that armor. It's a representation of all of us, all the work that they've put into to be able to do that. So I'm super thankful for the opportunity to do that. And hopefully in the future, we'll see what happens and we'll go from there.
I know there's a company out this way in I think it was Zusa. It's called like Imperial something, and they make a lot of the 501st their armor for them, and they also do a couple other I think I've seen some Mando armor that they've done also where they cast it and everything. It's pretty cool. It's local to here, and they always do this like sale every year where they literally pull out just their big old like excess they're like, what do you call it, cardboard boxes just filled with pieces, so you can go and you can piece together your own armor. And they have a really good sale, which I wish I could remember. If I remember, I might send it your way to
Yeah,
because they're local, so I mean, why not check them out?
yeah.
But so
You were asking about cons though, I think.
no, I had mentioned that you've been going to cons.
Yeah.
But I was going to actually talk about that. Imperial surplus. There it is. Yes. I don't know who. Star Wars win props. Yes, thank you. That's who.
Scott. That's Scott Wynn. Scott.
Oh, okay.
So Scott, I met at my very first signing. And I remember showing up being super scared. And even now I get super scared about going to these events. And even, jumping on a podcast, I get super nervous about it. But I met Scott at my very first convention. Super nice dude, super friendly. He's very enthusiastic about Star Wars. And I remember he dressed up. He was Boba Fett, and he walked around. And I watching him, I was like, man, that Boba Fett looks so cool. And I don't think he knows this, but I remember I took the Boba Fett picture with me, that scene we were talking about. And every time he would walk by, I would just hold it up and just kind of like point at it, like, look what I did. And then he would just keep walking. But I don't think he ever came over to look at it. But he and I talked, and again, another person I'm super thankful for. Because after meeting him and a lot of people at the convention, him and Jerry who of Styrex Industries, who ended up being oh god, Kaz Vizsla, there we go, building his own armor. After seeing them and like the community that was out there, it really put me at ease. And actually, now over the past, let me see, it was about a month ago. Scott actually put up there that we were in a fan film together. That him and Rory and I are in a fan film together. Is actually Scott's fan film. So the person I met a year ago, him and I have kept in touch ever since. We've been good friends. And he hit me up one day and said, "Hey, bro, I'm doing a fan film. Would you mind being a part of it?" And I remember kind of a little hesitant, like, well, what's it about? Like, is it my character? Is it have to like put the armor back on, the same one? Like, I don't know if I can do that. And he kind of explained it, no, it's going to be something completely different, but it's essentially, going to be Scott, how much can I share? I don't want to share too much. I'm only going to share what I know is out there. It's going to be a Civil War. Okay. Man, a Civil War. There's on Instagram, on my Instagram, on Scott Wynn's Instagram, Star Wynn's Instagram, is a little bit of a behind the scenes trailer. So if you guys want to check that out, or if, Scott wants to put it in the chat, feel free. But no, because I'm a part of it, and I'm super thankful. But I remember talking to him. He's like, yeah, I said, ask Rory. And he goes, Rory's already on board. I said, all right, well, I guess we're doing this. So, so I said yes. And, little by little, seeing the production kind of get started, because he pitched this like in January. And then they had a fundraiser up until, I believe, March, the end of March. And then we shot in April for 3 days out here in Lancaster. So it was myself, Rory, a lot of cosplayers, a lot of Mandalorian cosplayers, and it was really cool. I mean, yeah, okay, got it. He's the boss. It was really cool just to kind of see everyone kind of come together. Um, Mainly because, like, I say this a lot for Mandalorians, at least, or not even Mandalorians, just fans in general. Um, I got a question in Germany that said, "How do I be a Mandalorian?" And it's, well, I give my hat off to a lot of you guys because you guys are Mandalorians. Like, there's no question about it. You guys have put love and effort and time into building your armor. So this armor, what you guys wear, is essentially part of you. So there's no question about it. You guys are Mandalorian, and to see the troops that go around and the people who cosplay and go to events for kids and whatever it may be, you guys are just as much a part of Star Wars as I am. So to be on the production and to see all these people who genuinely love Star Wars want to make something great was such a treat. And for them to ask me to be a part of it was such an honor. And from what I saw and what I got to be a part of was a very, very fun and ambitious production. And I say ambitious because it's, when passion meets ambition, that's when you get something really, really fun. And I think Scott and the rest of the team and Harvey and Jerry and everybody who is a part of that production have done such a fun job. So if you guys haven't seen the trailer, or not the trailer, the behind the scenes of what it might look like, go to my Instagram. It's there. Pull it up, check it out, and then see more behind the scenes, as things start to come out.
I actually did see the behind the scenes thing, and looking good. Especially
Great.
It's a fan film, and thing like you said, because there's passion behind it, there's love, there's so much that goes into it. That's what makes it seriously just the coolest thing. I don't care how much money is put into it, but if you absolutely love it, you're going to just do whatever you can. And when the people watch it, they're going to see the love in it.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely going to see that. So
Absolutely.
Scott, hit us up. We'll definitely have you on and talk about what you're doing. Look at that. We got a good endorsement right here by Danny. So we got to have you on now. So, but yeah, it was, I'm all tongue tied now. And then, I forgot what I was going to say because I just, I do that sometimes.
I had a question for you.
There we go. Go for it.
So, in comparison to the helmet you wore on set to the one that you carry around with you, how different are they? Like, I know there's going to be the behind the scenes stuff that, the movie magic stuff they don't want you to reveal, but like in terms of comfort and how they fit, how close are they?
So the two that I have here are two different sizes. One's a little bit bigger, one's than the other. In terms of how they fit, the smaller one fits great. The bigger one, of course, is just a little bit bigger. But in terms of quality, they look wonderful. Like I said, anytime that I have them, I trade them off. I'm very fortunate that I have the ability to do that. Depending where I go, I take one helmet. The next appearance, I'll take another one. And for people to ask, like, is this the one from production? Because it looks really good. And I think that just says a lot to the talent that they have. They're both very, I shouldn't say very different. They're both different in their own way. But compared to the one on set, I would be honored to wear even these on set.
Nice.
And even the talent from Judah, Judah Escalante, the guy who made my armor. I've gotten to talk to him quite a bit, and I've talked, like I said, I've talked to him. He's such an awesome guy, a wonderful guy. The stuff that he's painted has been fantastic. I think they just did the I could be wrong. I think they just painted something else for, never mind. Anyway.
Yeah, I was
don't know
asking.
about that
I spent a lot of money on the Black Series helmet, the actual Din Djarin one, and when I looked inside of it, I was like, "What's all this crap?" Like, because it's got the inner, the inner workings of the helmet.
Yeah.
I was like, "This looks nothing like what I see on Instagram. Like, how am I gonna get my big old head in this thing?"
Oh yeah. I mean, the ones that I have,
it fits.
the ones that I have here, I just put like a cloth that I had shouldn't say lying around, but I had taken a cloth from work and I kind of just glued it on the inside because one of them is 3D printed, so the inside of it's resin. Yeah. When I put it on, it kind of would scratch my ears a little bit, so I just put some cloth in there. The one that I got to wear on set didn't have any like fan in it. It fit pretty nice, but the one I wore recently for Scott's thing, I kind of learned a little bit what I should put in it. So we put a little bit more foam on the inside because I had a scene where like we were running and stuff and like had quite a bit of movement. I told him to put more padding right here on my cheeks. So it fit really good. Only problem was every time I took it on and off, kept scratching me right here. So everyone's like, why do you look like you're about to cry? It's like, I'm not. Well, you're red. So, but I know some people have put fans in them, just to keep them cool. I remember on set, some had fans, some didn't. I don't think they really worked. But in comparison, like how they were, the quality is still there. You know, these are some really talented people who have worked on the show, and I'm grateful that I have some really talented fans that have been kind enough to make me some armor, or at least a
Nice.
bucket. Yeah. Yeah.
Make him some armor, guys. Come on.
We're
Help him
working
out.
on it. We're working on it. Don't worry. We're working on it. Yeah.
So
Big time.
hold on. Let me. Sorry.
Roll up the sleeve.
Yeah. It's time to get serious here because we did mention that we were going to talk about our little segment, and normally we do a segment called This Week in Geek History, and we're starting to include our guests in it, but due to unfortunate circumstances where I had to jump out of my vehicle, jump onto the back of a truck, and try to stop it, and let them know that they hit my vehicle, I couldn't put that together. But we did just come up with the idea for things that make you go, So we're going to go into that segment really quick, but let's do it the proper way with our little segue into that, because we're going to talk about something here. Some serious stuff. But here we go. Things that make you go, Yeah, I do that every time because I don't know why the audio just doesn't come through on that one. But
we can all do it together. Things that make you go, You know.
So, guys, because we're seeing David's Planet of the Apes thing in the background, because I dedicated, there's 5 original, so that's roughly about 10 hours. And then there's 3 new ones, which are roughly about 2 hours each, so 6 hours. So 16 hours. Huh?
3 new ones.
3 new ones.
There you go.
Yes. We're not going to count that Marky Mark one. That thing was garbage. And I'm sorry, David. I know that Mark is he's your man crush, but we are not going to mention that.
Is he your hero?
That's his hero. He loves him. I don't know why.
He's the guy who does his job. You must be the other guy.
Oh my God. So, yeah. Anyways, Planet of the Apes, guys. If you've not watched Planet of the Apes, and I know we talked to Danny here a little bit, and he said that it's been a while since the original ones.
Yeah.
The original. Okay. So
it's been so long that all I described was like a generic, hey, they're in a cave at some point, right? You know, and some fire. Yeah, totally. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it at some point.
There is fire in the movie. There is a cave. They're separate, but they're there. So we're close. And there was a lot of monkeys in it. So Danny, you're nailing it.
Yeah.
So I watch these movies, and David is always giving me crap because Danny, you don't know, I love the bad movies. I mean, I absolutely love all bad movies that are out there. I don't care, because people put their heart and souls into everything that they've made. I'm going to watch it. And if it's bad, it's bad, but I love them.
What constitutes bad?
He lives on Tubi and he watches everything that is on there.
All you had to say.
Yeah, everything that's on there.
Well, no, they're called cult classics on Tubi, okay? Cult classics.
He watches things that don't fall in that.
Yeah. I found myself going down the rabbit hole of Wrong Turn. Have you seen those movies? There's like 8 of them.
God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I found myself binging those.
Oh my! You took a wrong turn if you're watching that. That's just no.
But you've seen all of them.
I
I did see all of them.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I
is
mean, like,
he.
you just gotta watch them. Why not? Why not?
I
Even
mean,
though like the Leprechauns, those
oh,
movies, or you
the
know,
oh my god, the best Leprechaun
In
was
the hood.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
It peaked with Leprechaun in the Hood, dude.
gotta go back
That
and watch
was
that one then.
oh yeah. If you haven't seen it, dude, you gotta go and see it. He rolls up in a freaking Power
63
Wheels.
Impala, right? And he's rolling with his arms up and he's just chilling in that thing.
All right, yeah, I'll give it a try. Yeah, why not?
Oh,
It's
it's
not
so
great.
bad.
It's good.
But
Peak.
Planet of the Apes was the original Planet of the Apes in I believe it was 1972. Charlton Heston actually got a lot of acclaim for the movie that it was, especially because the makeup. It was very ahead of the time with the makeup that they used. As you start to watch the rest of them, the makeup started kind of waning and it kind of started going a little cheesy. And people always say that those movies are horrible. They're actually not. If you sit down and actually kind of really watch them and pay attention to the storyline, and it's actually a really good movie. And there's a lot behind the story itself when you're actually paying attention to the movie, not thinking this movie sucks because it's a bunch of dudes running around in monkey costumes. That's part of it, and it's still fun. So,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, you know what? You got to go back and watch it. But what I figured out, and this was something, and a ton of you people are going to be like, you are just way out there. Yes, I am. Mount of Mondo's.
Yes.
Hey, your inner beaner came out. I said Mandos, not Mondos, all right?
Oh, Mando.
You say Mandos?
He did. He saw the amount of Mandos.
Mandos.
Ay. Freudian slips.
Mhm.
All right, back to Planet of the Apes. So I watched these movies and figured something out after I'd watched all of them. And I was laying in my bed all by myself thinking about it. So if you watch these new movies, the new ones, I'm talking the James Franco, and then you've got the next one right after that with Kerry Russell, and then you got the last one, which is now more monkeys than ever, but it's got Woody Harrelson. And then, get this, then you watch the Charlton Heston movie, the original one. It would make a lot of sense when you line them up. And you don't even have to watch the rest of the Planet of the Apes movies, because the original Planet of the Apes movies takes place 2,000 years into our history. So when you think about that, I believe there was a scene, or there's something in the James Franco one in Rise of the Planet of the Apes that speaks of a shuttle leaving Earth.
That was Mark Wahlberg.
No, that's also it was Mark Wahlberg's whose shuttle left too. But if you think about it, Charlton Heston's shuttle could have left during James Franco's time, landed on our planet 2,000 years later, after these monkeys have completely evolved into the fully upright monkeys that they are, and after we've had a nuclear attack 2,000 years later. So if you watch look at that, boom, just blow everybody's mind right now. All three people that are watching.
All three people on the YouTube channel, but the IG is popping.
Well, now IG, this is what I think about, guys, and look at Danny did it. That's why,
like I said, it's been a while since I've seen the movies, so I have to, go back. I'll probably go back and watch them. Probably after we're done, I'll probably watch one of them. But should have told me. I would have prepared better.
No, that's the great thing about this. It's like there is no preparing for this one, because one of us always comes up with, we'll find something on the internet, and then it's like, hey, check this out, and it's like, oh, okay, let's do it. I mean, and we just go with it. But this, I'm serious. Start with James Franco's Rise of the Planet of the Apes, watch Rise, Dawn, and War, and then jump into the Planet of the Apes, and it'll all make sense. Skip the Escape from the Planet of the Apes, because we don't need to see Zira and Cornelius somehow miraculously rebuilding a shuttle in like 5 days and then flying back to our planet, and then all of a sudden they're the ones that created the planet. No, watch it in this order. I'm telling you guys.
Just one
Watch
of
it
those
in my
completely
order.
skip. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's like
Skip the rest
saying
of them, and you'll be.
it's like saying you can skip like half of the Halloween, franchise. Essentially. Yeah.
You
It
can.
depends
Yes.
which one you want to look at, and what was the last one? Halloween Ends, and then they did another one after that.
Oh my god. Yeah, we don't want to even talk about Halloween Ends. That was. Oh my! Did you watch that?
Is that the one where they like get together and just jump Michael Myers?
That's no. So that's where he is loose again, and they're trying to. I think they end up killing him, but then they start killing each other off because everyone's going crazy. It's. Or no, the last one was where some kid was possessed by his spirit.
And he was hiding in a Ninja Turtles lair.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
He was in their lair, and that's where the kid found him. And then all of a sudden, the kid's like, "I straight looked you in the eyes, and I became you." And I'm like, "What?" Right. He straight soul gazed him, man. Only Dresden can do that. You can't. No, I don't want to hear it. So
that's not true.
It does feed into the
Rider
idea of like, yeah, it does feed into the idea of like Michael being more of a entity than an actual person.
Yeah, it does, but the way they did it in that movie was just so like, honestly, I was bored by the middle of it, and I was just like, I don't care about this kid. Can this kid just die already? I mean, this is horrible. I want to see Michael. Put on the freaking
mask.
I was about to say Rob Schneider mask.
William Shatner, fool.
William Shatner mask.
I think I saw Rory just asked about what happened to Franco's character. Didn't he
I think so. During that, in the Franco one, that's when like the virus got out that it was killing off humans, but it was making the apes smart, which you don't find out about until the third Planet of the Apes movie. But I'm pretty sure James Franco has by this time had died out, along with a lot of other humans.
I think he dies in the outbreak, doesn't he?
I think he does, but we don't know about that until we actually don't know about it until
Caesar goes home, though, right? Like he goes back to. Okay.
That's where we find out that his human died.
Yeah.
And,
so sorry. He's out. He's out.
But I mean, at least you remember the new ones.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I've seen those more recently than I've seen, the older ones. So
this is true.
Yeah. I think even more so now because it's all over the internet right now because of the new movie coming out. So it's kind of, making its way back into my memory. But I haven't watched Planet of the Apes in recent time.
Well, that's why I actually got to watch it because they actually put them up all on Disney Plus. And
really?
And obviously on Hulu too, because Disney controls the world. So
that's a bigger rabbit hole we're gonna go down.
We don't want to get you in trouble. You're part of the Disney universe, so we'll leave it at that.
I want to work again.
Disney, don't hold it against him. Hold it against us, please. There was a sign.
There's a sign on his home.
Okay, then there it is. Yeah, Franco died from his own virus.
Got your answer, Rory.
All right, so there you go, guys. If you guys really want to go down that rabbit hole, and I think we're gonna call this the Geek Saga theory. Yeah, I'm gonna do it because
channel coming out.
Yeah, well, Machete has his way of watching freaking. Was it the Marvel?
That's not his way. It's called the machete method to watch the Star Wars movies.
Well,
it's not Machete's method, dude. Your inner beaner is just he's clawing to get out. Let him out, dude. Take that last E off and put an IO at the end of that because they should say Eugenio.
I'm sorry. I did just watch Blood In and Blood Out, so I was getting back to my roots.
So you're talking about you're referencing the machete method, which is you watch episode 4, then optional you skip episode 1 or watch
Yes.
it, watch 2, watch 3, then watch 5 and 6.
Yes.
Because then you get the full story without losing the cinematic reveal of Luke being, or of Vader being Luke's father. But you get
Where's Luke's father?
what?
Oh shoot, man, we
Come
just
on,
ruined it,
man.
bro. Ah, damn. Way to
Vader
go.
means
I-
father in German. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I just showed my girlfriend
perfect.
episode 3. Slowly, I'm trying to get her. We're gonna watch the rest of them, but I just showed her episode 3 a couple months ago because we met Amy Allen at LA Comic Con,
Oh, okay.
and so I was like, "Remember that girl we met?" She's like, "Yeah, watch this." And here's no, what's happening? No, so what's? Yeah, they're all gone. Yeah. Don't worry.
Wow, you you just killed
Traumatized
it.
her. Yeah.
So Star
So-
One Props has corrected me, and it's 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6. That's the correct order to watch the machete order.
Okay, well then, here we go. Let's go deep into my roots here. Straight, Los Gorillas method of watching Planet of the Apes is Dawn, Rise, or Planet of the Apes. Don't bother with the rest of them. There we go, and that's law.
Short,
Sweet, to the point. I like it.
Yeah, and I think I got my mom to watch them in that order too. So. I had to call her on Mother's Day, and we started talking a little bit. And this is when I was driving home from work, and I was like, you know what, Mom? I just watched Planet of the Apes again. She's like, oh, okay, because she told me she was watching. I forgot what old movie she was watching, and she knew that and she knows I loved Planet of the Apes. I watched every single time they were on TV. I had to watch them all. Like I watched them, but I told her, you know what? You got to watch it in this order. And she's all like, what order? Who's James Franco? Which one did he direct? I was like, no, he didn't direct any. I said, James Franco, the young guy. And she's all like, well,
He's
what
the
is
guy.
Yeah, he was the doctor. And she's like, who is he? What was he in? I was like, he wasn't in anything that you would have watched except for these movies. Just go to watch Planet of the Apes. And that's
Not
it.
even Spider-Man? Like no support for you or anything, or what?
None, man, none at all. I told my
And he was already a man by the time Spider-Man came out.
hey, I still told her I did it, and she's all like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Oh, okay." All right, that's
My dad too. Same thing. Okay, cool. Thanks. Appreciate it.
It's like, Dad, you don't understand. It's one of the biggest things in the world. It's like, yeah, you're cool. All right, good job.
Yeah. To get his attention, I'd probably have to do something like bigger. I mean, let me rephrase this. My dad's very happy with what I've done, but to get like that level of excitement, I have to probably do like Green Hornet or something like involving Bruce Lee, like something of that like stature, and then I'll get his like what. But until then, I'll get a awesome.
You know
Well,
what?
if
We
they
should do
ever-
a fan. we
If
should
they
do a
ever Green Light
Hornet.
Warriors, you could do season 2.
Oh,
Yeah, or Karate Kid. Karate Kid's another one. I might get a what?
well, there, Cobra Kai is out there. I mean,
Cobra Kai. Yeah.
you can
Never.
try to get onto that one. But,
Hey, stranger things have happened, so you never know.
but how cool would it be to do a Green Hornet fan film done right, not this Seth Rogen style, but like done right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It'll be fun.
Even though
Like,
that
a
movie was
character I would want.
horrible, Kato, the guy they casted for Kato, was actually pretty fucking cool.
Oh no, he was the best part about it, and also freaking the Black Beauty was.
But
oh,
I mean,
that-
it's the same thing with the OG freaking Green Hornet. No one cared about fucking the main character. They were like, "Oh, Bruce Lee was the best thing about that thing," and the movie did the exact same thing. Like everyone only cared about Kato.
I did actually get the comic books when they re-released those, and they were
That
actually-
was nice.
yeah, the artwork in that was really good. So, but man, we kept you on for a while, but we want to ask you what we like to ask our guests, which is, we know obviously you're a huge Star Wars fan, no doubt about it. Mandalorian is, huge for you. We've heard that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you've got all the toys. They're boxed away with the creepy dolls. But what is it right now that you're pretty much like geeking out on, that you're enjoying as far as like a TV show, movie? What is it that you're like when you have time to actually sit down and spend some time?
Right now. So there's two things that are like my go-to kind of watching things. It's the show Psych. I think I've ever seen Psych.
I love that show.
I love Psych. And recently I just started rewatching Supernatural.
Oh my God. Danny.
Yeah.
We're going to become best friends.
Fantastic.
Whoa.
I love
Rory's in the other chat. You can't say things like that.
Oh, sorry, Rory. Sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Danny, we're going to become good friends.
There you
Is that
go.
better? Okay. But I love Psych. I've watched it. I don't even know how many times I've watched that show.
Yeah.
Supernatural, I just went through again recently, and I'm almost done with it. I love that. That's another one I'm like, dude, I love that show.
I just started rewatching it because I was talking about it a lot in Germany. And so when I got back, I was like, I have to rewatch this thing again. I was watching a little bit, but now I'm kind of like consistently, all right, that's what I'm gonna put on for, the last one episode and see where it goes. But yeah, it's either Supernatural or Psych, usually.
I just started rewatching Lost, which
that's a fun one too. That's another like long binge that you can get lost in.
Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, that's that show. And then I don't know if you've ever seen Wayward Pines.
Maybe.
It was
throw it in there at some point.
Yeah, it was only 2 seasons. It has Matt Dillon as the lead in season 1. Season 2, and this is the weird thing because I don't really like too many M. Night Shyamalan things, but he directed, produced this show. And it was actually really good. You should check it out. Wayward Pines.
Wayward Pines. Okay.
It's on Hulu. But it's a short watch. It's 2 seasons. But it's really good. So I think we're going to become friends. I think I feel it. I feel that.
Feel it? Great. Great. Works for me. Works for me.
So where can everybody find you? What do you have on the horizon coming up? Go for it.
Man, where can you find me? Well, I'm on Instagram, everybody. Romero.life. Life is spelled Lyfe. I know, spelled wrong, but Romero.lyfe. What I got coming up now, actually, funny enough, I've just started going back into training martial arts a little bit more. I met some people on the set of Scott's production of the Civil War, and we kind of talked a little bit, and they invited me out to their classes that they normally do. It's been about a year since I've done any sort of martial arts. Just things kind of happened, and I kind of took a back seat, and hopefully that's can open some more doors as far as fighting, because that's really what I want to do is do more martial arts in bigger and more productions. Because that's what I grew up with is martial arts in all my life. So I got that going on. So hopefully, you'll see more content about that. Also, within the next year, you're going to see more behind the scenes of the production for the Civil War. Scott Wynn's production that he has putting on. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that. It should come out in 2025, I believe. Other than that, but it's just grinding and seeing whatever life throws at me next.
Awesome. All right, cool. So Danny, hold on a sec. We're gonna take you out, and then we'll come back to you afterwards. We're just gonna close out our show, and we don't want you to go away just yet.
But do what you got to do. I'll be around.
Yeah. Well, let me get this all set up now because I got to close out this. I got to do this. Dang, dude, is that David? Is that you? Oh yeah, it's you posting up a lot. Oh,
what do you mean?
On the I just noticed the comments and I was like, dang, it's like 19 comments.
Every time someone commented in IG, I was like, if it was something that had to do with the conversation, I was translating it over to our chat over here. But shout out to the Dad Vader on IG. He said this is a solid podcast. So thanks for that, man. We've been working for about a year now. So
working our butts off. But it's thanks to solid guests like Danny that we do this. It's a lot of fun doing it.
Thank
So
you.
yeah. Danny, it's awesome to have you on. So now I'm ready. I can now take you out the proper way because I don't like to just have people be like, okay, we'll be back and then click you out. So we're going to take you out the proper way. So guys, this was Danny Romero, and hopefully you come back onto our show soon again, and maybe we can do some more things with you, but we'll talk about that afterwards. So Danny, we'll be right back with you. And that was Danny Romero. He's laughing again with the picture. Yes, Instagram is a great place to find pictures.
it's a good picture, man.
But
Hey, at least he's decent and in clothes, because you're like a freaking what is it, detective back there scrolling through everything 10 years back, find a picture of him with his finger in his nose.
which somebody I did that to. Who was it that I found one that was just so jacked up that I was like, I got to put this up.
I don't know. I just remember it happening.
Actually, no, it was what's his face from Forge Realm, Randy.
Yes, Randy.
There was one that he was all like, God, he's all like, next time I'll send you a picture. I was like, hey, that's all I got. So, but that was awesome. Dude, the first time I met him, it was really cool. We sat down and talked. It was a great interview. And then right after, I had Rory come on, and we did a little bit of man crying during his interview. So, but seriously, solid dude. Danny is definitely awesome. So, but guys, we've been on for an hour and a half for a while, which is always fun because we always like when we are able to kind of just flow through conversation with our guests. And you guys don't just get the typical like question and answer type thing with our show. We like having the conversation. Vader, what was that? Dad Vader or Vader Dad?
The Vader.
Dad Vader. That's what we do, guys. We want you guys to get to know these people that you don't normally get to see outside of either a con. And even then, when you're at a con, you might get 5 minutes with them. But here we want to bring you guys and they get to know, you get to know them and stuff. And you start following them on their IGs and all that other stuff. Also, so I wanted to show something that I'm wearing. Oh, yeah. Start the music. Oh, yeah.
Please keep it on.
No, dude, it's the Silverhawks shirt.
Oh, I thought you were taking off everything. I was about to... Oh, no, my computer died. Click.
Guys, check it out. We have Silverhawks shirts. There is a new website, and it is actually one of our sponsors I didn't mention, which is called Riot Collectibles. They have some great stickers. They have some great shirts. This shirt in particular is one of the newest ones, which is Silverhawks. So if you guys are all about nostalgia, I got the Silverhawks one. I've got the it was the Thundercats one, which is the Eye of Omens. It's seeing Lionel holding up the eye, and it's just his eyes. Freaking awesome shirt. A lot of other cool things. The website is actually going to be coming up, I believe, by the end of this week. Actual website where you can buy the shirts, you can buy the stickers, got posters, and you support them. It supports us because that's another way that we get a lot more of the money. But if you guys want this shirt, it will be up. You can actually DM us, and we'll send you over to Riot Collectibles, or you can find them on Instagram. Message them at, I believe it's just Riot Collectibles. Let me double check that one. They don't have the pictures up there yet. It's riot.collectibles or Riot. Chihuahua. Riot.collectibles to see some of their stickers. The shirts are going to be going up on there. Also, there will be a link to the website coming up there soon. Buy the shirts, man. They're actually really cool shirts. I'm digging this one because it's a lot of nostalgia right here on my chest. Oh, yeah. So anyways.
It's not all that's on your chest.
There's some hair too, but we won't see that.
Ground beef. Ground beef.
Hey, it's not as bad as what's his face? Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds, what's his name from the Boondocks or the Boondock Saints?
Oh my God.
He just had it all pouring out the top of that shirt.
That was horrible. But anyways, guys, you know what? It's been great. It's been fun. It's been awesome to be on again. And then next week we also have next week, which is the 22nd, guys, we are going to have 2 guests coming on from the podcast Geeks Who Like Sports. We have Ray and Lee, both the hosts from that show, coming on to our show. So we're doing kind of a mashup. We're going to be going a little earlier than normal. We're going to be hitting it at about 5:30 because we got Lee, who's actually on the East Coast. So we want to make sure we could actually have him on and be able to have him on for a while. And then, like, dude, I've been busy. I've been busy lining up guests. So we got Ray and Lee. Then we're looking at JC from Scum and Villainy, who's going to be coming on next month on the, I think we said the 17th. So the 17th is another special day because we're trying to work with him. But we got quite a few people coming on, and we're really excited. We're hoping to get Rory on our show too. So Rory, if you're still listening, you hit me back up. You come on our show too, so we could talk. So, anyways, enough of us babbling. We've got our guests waiting for us. So, David.
So, as always, everybody, big shout out to all the Mandos in the chat. You guys came on IG. You guys blew that up. You guys showed so much love to Danny. And, I mean, I know you were here for him, but it helped us out a lot. It gave us a reason to keep talking. And you guys in the chat gave us more to keep talking about. So, thanks for coming in. Rory, thanks for setting all that up, linking everybody in your chat. You did big things. As always, you can find us at the links below: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, IG, The Geek Saga, and then at our Gmail, you can find us at the Geek Saga 20 at gmail.com. But join us next week, 7:30-ish. We try to get on about the same time every week. But lastly, again, I want to shout out Project Wish Upon a Star. Go find them. They're on our IG page. If you can donate, please do. If you can't, just spread the word. Get their name out there. But as always, join us next week when the saga continues.